Well, hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another edition of American Truck Simulator with me, your old buddy Mr. Moose. And today it's our first edition of multiplayer. That's right guys, the multiplayer server is up, and while I don't have anybody with me right now, I wanted to jump on, talk a little bit about the multiplayer server and give you some details about it, how you get it, how you get on it, all that good stuff. And we'll drive a little bit on it just so you can see how it is. I've got a load that I'm headed down here to Barstow with, and we'll grab that and we'll run along the way. And we'll talk a little bit about the multiplayer and things I've experienced on it, give you a little bit of details about what you can expect when you're playing on it. As of right now, there are only 3 servers up and running. 3 European servers were all that were up tonight. When I found out about it, got it, downloaded it, and got online. Hopefully they will be adding more and more servers, especially some US servers here in the near future. So the multiplayer server is put out by the exact same guys who put out the original ETS2 multiplayer server. However, they have rebranded and repackaged the entire thing together on a website called truckersmp.com. That's where you're going to go to download the app or the launcher that you'll use to get into the game. So that's where you want to head on over to truckersmp.com to download and get registered and signed up for it. You will need a World of Trucks account as well to get involved in the MP. So make sure you have that set up as well. You'll create an account there if you haven't done already, and then you go from there. They're going to need your Steam ID, which you'll need to get that. And you'll need your World of Trucks profile ID number as well, so you can sign up and create your account and validate yourself for the game. So here come a couple of blue dots, a couple of players headed out to deliver loads. And I've got to be honest with you, more than once while I'm playing this, I've raised my hand up to wave at oncoming traffic because, yeah, I'm that stupid. But the gameplay pretty much is the exact same as ETS as far as traffic. All the AI has been removed, including the police cars, so you will not get a speeding ticket in this game. However, to control the speeds a little bit in the game, certain areas are governed. So if you're into a certain part of a city, the speed's going to cap out at 37 miles an hour. Your highway speed seems to be capped out as well. So I'm going to try to get up over 70 miles an hour right now here. And I'm just not going to be able to. I'm just going to get to 68, and you hear my motor feather out. I'm governed out at 68 miles an hour on this. I don't have governing or speed limiting set on my truck at all in the game, but it's automatically imposed on me. So 68, the fastest I can go in this particular truck. Now, I was driving with Jimmy Dolly earlier tonight, and Jimmy was having an issue getting over 55, so it may be a little bit different per truck. He did have the speed limiter set in his game, so that might have been the reason why. Wow, that's a lot of rain. That might be the reason why he also was getting limited out. So, but I do know for a fact that when you're in the cities, you're going to be limited to 37 miles an hour. And then there are times when you are going to be governed. You know, your max speed's not going to let you pass 68 for sure. It might be a little bit different per vehicle or depending on your setup. Oh, lots of guys on the road right now. Wow, good storm. What else? It's insane in some of the loadout areas. And I'll say this again, if you're going to play on the multiplayer, be courteous of the people around you. I have gotten to the point where I'm just taking the easiest load outs I can, because it's just complete chaos in some of these drop-offs. Because tonight, like for instance, I was playing with the Northern Alex, hashtag blame Dan, and there was a ton of people at a particular drop-off point. Must have been 20 trucks in there. There's no way you could even see the loadout, let alone, you know, hit your spot. And you might be smart to just take the easiest, you know, I'm in a hurry option and drop your load that way, because if you're going to try to take the really complicated drop off, you're going to have a really hard time with it. So just keep that in mind, because there are going to be a lot of people on the server. Server max is 2,000 people. When we were playing earlier, there was only 500 people on the server, and it was crazy insane as far as the number of people at service centers and drop-off locations. So just keep that in mind. You might want to take the easiest option so you can get in and out, but do be courteous. If you're dropping off a load, get your load dropped off and then get out of there, and don't lollygag around, because it's just hard for people to see when there's a whole bunch of people. So as you can see right here, there are a ton of trucks right here at this one intersection. And that guy just ran into that guy. That was awesome to watch. Oh. And don't be stupid like me and miss a shift. Alright, so I gotta get a little fuel here. Alright. Guy just pulled in behind me. And will probably run into me. Maybe not. Most of the areas, seriously, dude, you're gonna honk at me because I'm getting fuel. Most of the areas in the game for like pickups and drop-offs, those are going to be no collision areas going into them. Once you're inside the perimeter of that zone, they're going to be no collision areas, so you won't get run into by anybody and you won't take any damage. Gas stations, that's a whole different animal. Those are collision zones, so be aware that if you come flying in thinking you're going to fuel up at the pump on top of somebody else, that's impossible, and you're going to take a lot of damage. They're going to take a lot of damage, and you're not going to make them happy. So just be aware of that. As far as no collision zones go, keep in mind the pickup and the drop-off zones in this game are a bit smaller than they were in ETS. I'm sure you've come to realize that by now. One thing you're going to need to be really aware of is, let's say you're picking up a load at the car dealership. Let's say you pick up a load of cars and you're ready to pull out. You're going to pull out right where the job icon is to pick your job up. You got to be really careful pulling out, because as soon as your truck is outside of the perimeter of the car dealership, you then are collidable. That means your trailer's collidable. So if a guy is sitting right there in the entrance picking up a job and you become collidable, you're going to hit him, or if he's coming in at that point. So be careful about that. Ran into an instance earlier with that where I almost got nailed by a guy. So just think about that stuff. It's going to take a little time to work out some of the little things like that, but so far so good. It is quite congested, I will say that much. As you'll see, there's a whole lot of trucks on here as I drive around. And again, there is no speed limit, so I pretty much can drive whatever speed I want to go. But the max I'm going to be able to get is 68 miles an hour. A few more guys coming down the road there. So once you get in the game, I'm trying to see if I can get to a spot where I head into a city. Once I start heading into a city, I'm going to lose a lot of power on the truck. It doesn't matter what gear I'm in. Oh, and way stations do work in this game, in the multiplayer. So you will have to stop at way stations. But it doesn't matter what gear I'm in. If I head into a city and down around where my steering wheel is, it pops up and says, you have entered a city. All of a sudden your truck's going to lose a lot of power. If you're heading 68 miles an hour down the interstate and you enter into a city, you're going to lose a lot of power, and you're going to wonder why. It's because you're governed at that point and you can't go any faster than 37 miles an hour. So there it went. Mine just dropped out on me. Ooh, I got to get off here. Ooh, I almost missed that exit. Not paying attention to what I'm doing, nearly missed my exit. I was gonna be that guy, but yeah, you saw I entered a city, but then I left the city, so I didn't get governed again. But now I'm in a city, and here I'm not governed. So I'm up to 41 and just trucking along. I'm moving on to 44. So right now I'm not governed, and we're just coming into Las Vegas. Now you need to stop at all the traffic lights just like before. Even though there's no cops, you still got to stop at traffic lights. And keep in mind that oncoming traffic is a real person, so they're not going to yield to you like the AI will. Alright, we'll head up here. And now that we're in town, let's see if we get governed. I think it's really only certain areas. I think it's in just your high traffic areas that really get governed. And then on the interstates, a lot of times we'll get governed. Man, that's some loud lightning. Nice thing is merging on the interstate. If you don't see a blue dot around you, you know there's no traffic around you, so you don't have to really worry about getting run over. Now I brought my regular account into the multiplayer tonight to drive around and have a little bit of fun with. Keep in mind that if you have hired help and you get on the multiplayer server, that you run a risk of all of a sudden your money going through the roof. Because it calculates things differently sometimes, and all of a sudden you'll end up with $2 million. Earlier I started out with the 73,000 that I have right now, and while we were playing, all of a sudden my money jumped up to 2,200,000 and something thousand. So just keep that in mind as well. Alright, I'm right there. I got governed. I couldn't do anything faster than 43 miles an hour. I was putting the gas to it and it wouldn't go anywhere. right, so you see there's a lot of people on the road driving. And now again, I drove for about 3 hours tonight with the Northern Alex and hashtag blame Dan, Jimmy Dolly, and I was gonna record all that and put it up. I messed up my settings. There, I've entered a city. I've lost all power again. My foot's all the way to the bottom of the with the gas, and I have no power because I'm being governed down to the 37 miles an hour. So when I hit 37, you'll hear the engine cut back on. Right now I got nothing. Or as soon as I get out of the city, one of the two, whichever one comes first. 38, 37. There's my motor back, and it's just floating while I'm at 37, leaving the city now. There, we left the city and I've got power back. So you can see how it governs you out in the city. So first time that happened to me, I freaked out. I was like, why am I losing power all of a sudden? It will happen to you in a couple of places. It'll happen to you in the cities, intersections, places like that where there's going to be high traffic. But it will also happen to you if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're starting to come across like the entrance into a shop where you would drop off a load. It's going to govern you right there as well. So just let you know on that one. But so far so good. I'm digging it. Though there's going to be a lot of congestion on it. Earlier I had a couple of people just being stupid. We had one guy drop his load and then just ran, you know, chased somebody down and ran straight into them. So the trolls are going to be out, especially once they find out the multiplayer is up. I don't think a lot of people know that it's actually up yet. So yeah. It was a very quiet release, let's put it that way. Alright, I'm governed once again. No speed. Engine is just not there. Well, now I'm back. Well, that might have been because I shifted it too high in RPM. Alright, we're getting close to my destination here. Man, I picked oh, rain's over. Just in time, huh? Alright, so we're gonna drop off our load up here. And we'll see how congested our drop-off location is gonna be. Alright. It takes a little get used to driving on the multiplayer because there are times when you'll want to stop at certain places, and it's not really advisable to because people are impatient and they'll do some crazy things. Alright. Alright, so here we are at this is a perfect example here at the rail depot. If you had to drop off way back over here, this is a very complicated, it takes a long time to back around and do everything. If you tried to do that, you would be here all day and you would make a lot of people, you'd have a lot of problems with people coming in and out. So I'm typically taking the easiest drop off to get a little bit of XP, but not to try to do anything too complicated, because if I do, I'm gonna possibly frustrate a lot of people, as well as I'm probably gonna frustrate myself, because there's takes a lot of time, and if you've got a whole lot of people in here at once, it can be almost impossible. So one thing I like to do is show my results as quick as possible so I can get back into my truck, pull off, and get out of here, so I'm not in the way of other people trying to work. So there we go. You can even take the easy drop off, but again, you got to use your head. You can't fly in and out of these loading zones, because if you pull out and run into the back of his trailer, he's gonna take damage, you're gonna take damage. It's just not good. So anyways, just a basic little video I wanted to do tonight, just to say, hey, here it is, multiplayer is up and running. Again, I didn't think it would be but another couple of weeks, and I was shocked when I found out that it was up today. So jump on, have some fun, and maybe we'll run into each other along the way. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video today. Just a first look at the multiplayer, and we'll do some more with it in the coming days. Maybe grab a recon, or even get back with Dan and Alex and do some more with those guys. So take it easy. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I try to do new videos each day for you guys, as well as live stream on a consistent basis. That way there's lots of goodies for you to watch and keep entertained. So thanks again, as always. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.